Vincent McCarty's rare archival film footage was handed down and preserved in its original form to his grandson, current 697 journeyman wireman Chuck Lee. The Local's executive board and officers saw fit to digitally restore the original 16mm footage to preserve a video record of Local 697's heritage for future generations. We dedicate this film to all past and present brothers and sisters of IBEW Local 697, who, along with our NECA partners, have toiled diligently on the southern shores of Lake Michigan. Together we have constructed the equivalent of industrial pyramids, in the forms of steel mills, refineries, and powerhouses, all in the large shadow cast by our world-class neighbor, Chicago. Much has changed over the years, especially working conditions and safety regulations. These changes are due in part from the efforts of an organized construction industry and a strong building trades council. Our signatory employers, in turn, ensure that working men and women are treated with dignity and respect, and are appropriately rewarded for their daily efforts. The drastic improvements in workplace safety are the direct result of enlightened public policy and economic pressure from customers and their insurers. Federal and state OSHA regulations have greatly reduced fatalities and serious accidents among construction electricians. Today, the struggle continues as working families are under attack by the radical right. Critics contend that unions are no longer relevant or necessary. Nothing could be further from the truth. As you can see, much of what we take for granted today was not even considered 3 generations ago. Hard hats, safety glasses, fall protection, shoring, and taglines are non-existent in these scenes. Yes, we've come a long way in 75 years, but some things haven't changed that much at all. One similarity between then and now is the 697 membership itself. The Local's 25th anniversary in 1936 roughly coincides with the making of this film. Reading from its membership roster reveals familiar names such as Abbott, Blair, Eads, Fargo, Gladish, Hagberg, Hewitt, Lohman, Laux, Means, Mecklenburg, Rosenall, Seliger, Sweeney, Wilson, and Yeager. Many descendants of these members are currently working at the trade today. What has remained remarkably constant over the years are the basic tools of the trade and the basic methods of electrical systems installation. Many of the tools and techniques seen in this footage are still in use today, or in the very recent past. Tuggers and lead-sheathed cables, manholes and grease, reel jacks and winches are all in use today, 75 years later. Notice the art of serving cable and fabricating brackets and enclosures with an acetylene torch. Electric arc welding is still a vital skill of our trade within heavy industry environments. Rigid conduit threaders and benders have evolved over the years with the use of hydraulics and electronics, but the end result is the same. A craftsman-like installation complete with concentric bends and matching couplings. You can certainly tell when a job has 697 written all over it. Notice the absence of temperature-controlled, smoke-free facilities in which to change clothes and eat lunch. It is quite likely that these brothers either walked into the job site from the gate or rode in the back of an open stake bed truck. Through the years, quality has been both our mantra and our motivation. No job too high, too hot, or too dirty. Our bread and butter includes jobs that others won't touch. Pickle lines, blast furnaces, coke ovens, fire jobs, and others have sustained our trade for years and led to our can-do reputation. Our union and its membership have benefited greatly from the efforts and contributions of our forefathers throughout our history of over 100 years. The following toast, repeated annually at our retirees' banquet, appropriately expresses our appreciation. Those of us still working in the trade owe a huge debt of gratitude to those retired members who toiled during the best years of their lives for our employers and built our union and industry. Daily, we quench our thirst with water from the wells they dug and warm our bodies by fires they built. Our debt to them can be repaid only by mentoring and training our apprentices, demanding that they perform their best every day. At the same time, we journeymen must set an example by our daily devotion to being the best that we can be. The local leadership must continue to organize and train new members to ensure our local grows with the industry, and that these types of celebrations continue for years to come. To all those retirees present and past, we pledge that we will keep digging new wells and building new fires in honor of all of you. The nameless faces seen in this film footage have worked hard to pave the way for those who would follow. Thankfully, the Calumet region is still considered a major component of the industrial heartland of America. We continue to be home to the bulk of America's integrated steel production and one of the largest oil refineries in the country. The work sites and workers in this film are gone, but certainly not forgotten, thanks to the preservation of this film footage. May this instructive historical film record last for generations to come, just like the IBEW.